Good morning, everyone. I wanted to share with you all a way to deepen connection all over the world is to deepen connection with our inner world. And I work a lot with women's pelvic floor, the vagina, our vaginas. And what I have learned is a happy vagina leads to a very happy life. So today I want to honor our sexuality, our sexual organs, and really take a look at this beautiful structure where babies come from and remember how sacred and divine we are. And men, you are super sacred too, because we can't do it without you. But what I have noticed is how a lot of us have a taboo about yoni massage, tantra massage, sexual massage. And what I have noticed is since everything is a projection, when people don't understand what the benefits are of a woman receiving a 2-hour healing tantra massage that is all about feeling her own sexual energy for herself. I've had men tell me that that the woman's vagina is for her husband. True story. And why would a woman want to get massaged by a woman if she's not a lesbian? And I'm not a lesbian. I love men. I'm not a lesbian, and I don't have to be a lesbian to work with women. And there's nothing wrong with being a lesbian. Whatever your sexual preference is, that's your life. That's your expression. And so I wish to have this conversation about yoni massage right now, tantra massage, sexual organs being massaged for healing. And if anybody has questions, you can go ahead and ask me a question if there's something, because there's a lot of people that write to me that wonder, you know, why is Michelle posting so much about tantra massage and sexual healing massage, and what is this really? Is it a happy ending? And I want to open up the conversation. Let's talk about sex. Let's make this normal conversation, because the whole reason why porn is like the #1 thing that people look up on the internet, it's like the highest money-making pornography, okay? And I don't even watch porn. Like I've seen clips of porn, but for me it doesn't feel healthy for me. It's like this is just me, okay? Because I'm so used to sexuality being something authentic, sensual, caring, kind. This was almost disturbing for me to see a woman being pounded. And mind you, it feels good to be pounded, but not artificially, you know? And maybe I'm sharing too much, but like I love both. But in pornography, we get such a skewed sense of what a woman and a man do together, and women think that it's supposed to look like that, or men, you know, definitely long-term pornography is not good for a man's penis because it makes you have erectile dysfunction. I don't even know if people knew that, but we get programmed, and like I've heard of women that have told me that their boyfriends used to watch a lot of pornography, then they started going out and dating, and they need certain types of stimulation, like what they saw in the pornography, to be able to have an orgasm for the man. So there's a lot of taboo, there's a lot of, you're talking about this. Yes, I'm talking about it. And it is so sacred and beautiful and sensual when couples do tantra, because tantra is all about being present, being in the moment, and having this sense of exploration. Hi, Maria Christina. I'm talking about tantra, yoni massage, sexual healing massage. So if you have any questions, you can ask me. And I'm a physical therapist for the past 23 years, and I had sexual trauma. My first sexual experience, I was not excited about it. I didn't even really know what was happening when I was 14 years old, and I didn't say anything. The teenager that I was with, I didn't really like him even. I just felt lonely because my dad left when I was 12 years old, and I feel like the first guy that paid a lot of attention to me, I latched onto, feeling so lonely inside, and my little girl was wounded. And so I had sexual trauma. I held pain in my vagina for 14 years of my life. Some people may not know that, but that's why I'm so passionate today to talk about this part of our body, this deep, deep part of our body. Our deepest muscles are our pelvic floor and our diaphragm. And those two muscles, we hold a lot of emotions. So when we have childhood trauma, we tense up. And it's amazing how some of us, we had our diaper changed and maybe our parents were like, woo, it smells. Or maybe our parents, we peed in our bed and our parents spanked us. So a lot of stuff happens down here that with the Yoni massage and the Lingham massage for men, there's root massage too, where you get your butt massaged and the anal area, and there's a lot of emotions that we hold down here, a lot. Especially if you have a pain in your ass, literally in your life. Usually those clients have a literal pain in their ass, a pain in their hip. And I know it might all sound funny or crazy, but trust me folks, when we go there to those body parts and we work with them and we breathe into them and we do the Alva Method, basically you're getting this tune-up for your soul, because who you really are is in your ass. It's in all of your body. And a lot of times if you're holding shame or guilt or pain in the ass resentment, you're not able to be who you are. When you're resentful, when you're holding on to pain, you're not actually being your wholeness. You're being your past. You're being the stories, the interpretations of what we played the victim role a lot of times. As children, we played the victim. We didn't know any better. We didn't know Anthony Robbins and Louise Hay back when we were kids, So a lot of times we've assumed that victim role, and then we hold it in our genitals, and we hold it in our hips. The deep muscles of the body, we're actually holding pain, emotional pain. It is so real. And then when we clear that pain through the Alva Method, this process of self-discovery and self-empowerment that I've created that combines physical therapy, there's some shamanic, it's influenced by shamanism and neuro-linguistic programming and sound healing and tantra. When we do this integrative body work, which you can do for yourself, I work with people over the phone, it's really about turning on your inner shaman, your inner healer, and being with that little girl, being with that little boy, your inner child, which was so hurt that the best we could do was tense up our muscles and dissociate. So that's what I did. I dissociated. I left my body, and I was not in my body for a lot of years of my life. And I think that's why I developed pelvic pain, because my body was trying to say, Michelle, spend time with us down here. Can we please let go of all this shame and guilt that you put on yourself? We love you. You're not dirty. You're not damaged goods. And that's what I learned from my own suffering and how much my own judgment about myself weighed me down. I weighed myself down. It's basically us all the time, our interpretations of what happened to us that hurts us the most. So we can get our power back by loving the past and being grateful for it. Mind you, you might be like, I don't love the past. What are you, crazy? How could I love what happened to me? But that's the first step, is acceptance. But first of all, even before that, to feel what's really there. So that's where you get to breathe awareness into your chronic pain. Wherever your chronic pain is, if it's been there more than 3 months of your life, safe to say it's probably related to some type of emotional trauma. It could have even been the simplest thing. Maybe your parents didn't pick you up from school on the first day. That happened to me. Kindergarten, my parents both thought they were going to pick up each other, and nobody did, and I stayed with the teacher, and that made me tense up my genitals. I was scared. Just like a dog, when they put their little tail under their legs, you know how dogs do that when they're nervous? They tense up their little tails, their anal area, their genitals. So can you imagine living in a house where your parents are constantly yelling at you, or your parents are molesting you, or your uncle, or the babysitter? This happens every day to millions of people every day, children. And my clients, it's amazing how my own clients, I would say probably 1 out of every 3 of my clients, I would say, have had some type of trauma, sexual trauma. And then we wonder why we can't orgasm. We wonder why when we're having intimacy with our partners, we can't. You know, there's people that will break up with their partners because it's getting too intimate, because it's triggering the trauma. So here's the thing, when you break up with that person and then you go and be single, you're still taking with you that trauma. The reason why we attract people, I really feel that life is all about love and healing and facing those traumas and then processing them and releasing them, because that's what nature is. That's what we are. Trees let go of the dried up leaves. So this work that I do is a lot about letting go of those dried up leaves of our past stories and the interpretations we've made that have caused us to feel so much pain. Because it's really what you perceive that is hurting you. It's not actually the person that's hurting you. It's the story that you make up about what happened to you that is heavy on you. We create this all ourselves. So part of this work is about really owning that we're powerful creators. And to the degree that you've created your chronic pain, that it's perpetual and lingering and nothing helps it, be grateful for that, because there's something beautiful that it's teaching you. And I think a lot of us are learning unconditional love from holding on to pain for so long. So if you're ready with that, to heal it, to release it, to process it, message me, let's have a conversation, let's talk about sex, let's talk about all those wild questions that you can't comment on this video right now because it's too embarrassing. I get it all the time, and just to have an open sexual conversation for some people, that makes their hips relax, that makes their genitals breathe, because we've been such an uptight community as a whole that I really feel that how we sex is how we everything. And this is why I'm putting it out there. And I am a person that I am not a sexual addict. You know, sometimes people are like, oh my God, here she goes talking about sex, sex, sex. I definitely feel I'm a love addict. I love to nurture. I love to love, and I will own that. I love. But as far as the Tantra and the Yoni massage and doing sexual healing work, if anything, I feel more grounded in my body, more in the flow. And I really feel that for a lot of us that are too much in our heads, not enough in our bodies, or if we're sitting for 6 to 8 hours in a chair every day, your pelvis is just going, please pay attention to me. And the type of massage that I do for the hips, for the thighs, just spreading out those inner thighs, it feels so good. And people walk taller, they feel, you know, the men feel like a king and the women feel like a queen. And it's just a whole other way of healing where we're exploring our sensual nature, this childlike wonder and play that I wish to bring to all couples, because really we could help so many marriages ignite more from igniting your own inner spark with yourself. So my next workshop is Friday, September 14, How to Be a Sensual Lover. And it's all about turning yourself on to your sensuality and really living from this place of a deeper relationship with everything in life, not just your sexual organs. There's a lot more to your sexuality than your sexual organs. You can get turned on anywhere in your body. Your scalp can be a very arousing part of your body. And the more you have released these traumas in your body, the more easier it is to really feel pleasure in every part of your body. And your body is so thankful to you when you make the time to release and process the past. Because remember, we are designed to shed our skin, just like the snake that sheds its skin. It slithers, lets go of its old dried up skin. A lot of us are walking around with our skin of 20 years ago, of when our parents yelled at us, or maybe if our parents touched us inappropriately or something traumatic happened. We're outdated when we're living like that, and we're not really able to feel the joy, the love, the peace that is available right now to us when we hold space for those wounded parts. So if you want to feel more connected, let's have a conversation, and write me with whatever questions you have related to Tantra, sexual healing. Let's talk about sex. Let's get it all off our chest and off our genitals, so that then we can really feel the whole ecstatic, orgasmic, creative, abundant, and receptive being that you are meant to be. That is your whole self, your true authentic self, your holiness. W-H-O-L-I, holiness. You can really feel it when we heal those parts of ourselves, process those parts that are begging for us to process. That's why they're in chronic pain. So amazing. I mean, I could tell you so many stories of things that happen to people that come in with bladder pain in their bladder, and they leave with no pain because they had a sexual trauma. The babysitter molested them, and they never told anyone, and sometimes clients don't even know that they've had some type of trauma. Or there's men, for example, that are molested, and then they're feeling guilty because they like anal sex, and they're married and they're confused. So there's all these questions that come up, even being not sure about our own sexuality. Sometimes that happens to people because we have had trauma, and then we wonder, am I gay, am I not gay? So I'm here as a person to hold space for you. Let's get it all off your chest. You know, let yourself be heard. And I invite you just to give me a call. Let's do a 30-minute call, because sometimes that's so healing for people. And believe me, I've been through a lot, and I've been asked a lot of questions, and I can handle everything. I really feel comfortable and confident about it. So give yourself lots of love and support if you're confused or embarrassed or ashamed, or if you're holding tension down there, because your body's doing the best it can, and so are you. And that's a lot of times what this all happens for, is for us to wake up to more compassion and loving ourselves, even if we have these wild, crazy sexual ideas or whatever it is, to not shame ourselves. Remember, you're a little animal, so just love it all. Love every part of it. Have an awesome day, and I hope this video helps to just open up the conversation and open up to a world where we can all love our sexuality, embrace our sexuality, and a healthy, sacred sexuality. Thank you, everyone.